everyone, what's up? It's Chelsea VanBuskirk with the Heart AF podcast. Hope you guys are all doing well. The holiday season is upon us, and it's a time for, getting together with friends and family and loved ones and enjoying time together. And, it's supposed to be this happy time of celebration, but at the same time, it can also come with a lot of emotional heaviness, especially if you're someone who has lost a loved one. The holidays just tend to be this magnifying glass that brings to your awareness the fact that your loved one's no longer here, right? It's just a reminder that your loved one's not going to be here to experience this moment with you. And so you can feel sad and heavy and not really feel like you're able to enjoy yourself during this time, right? And sometimes it can take away from the present moment and being able to enjoy the loved ones that you do have here. And I just think it's important to acknowledge that. And the first thing is, it's okay. It's okay to have these feelings. It's okay to be sad, and it's okay to still be grieving your loved one. There's nothing wrong with you, and I don't think it's something you should try to hide or ignore. I think the best way to get through it is to allow yourself to feel these feelings. And I actually created a YouTube video that I'll post a link to in the description of this podcast to just help you get through and to know how to help alleviate some of that grief and how to work through that, especially during the holiday season, as it can be hard, and how to handle these emotions, especially in the healthiest way, right? Because I know sometimes in my past, my go-to is just to numb myself with food, numb myself with alcohol, whatever it is, it's negative, right? And like I was a chain closet smoker, and I can talk about that on a different episode about overcoming that. But there was a point in time where I was using negative ways to cope, right? Like, and it was negative in that one, it wasn't healthy for me, but it was a way that I was numbing myself, not allowing myself to feel the pain. Like I didn't want to go there. I did not want to get into that space where I was feeling uncomfortable feelings. And really the only way to overcome grief is to go through it. There's no easy way around grief. You just have to experience it. And I don't even know if overcome is the right word, because I don't think grief is something you just get over. It's a journey, right? It's a process. It's something that will always be a part of you. It's just learning how to allow yourself to feel the feelings you need to feel and to let them go through you and not sit inside you and then fester and affect you negatively. Sometimes I feel like it's like this double-edged sword where we don't really want to bring it up because we don't want to feel the pain, but at the same time, we don't want it to be like they never existed. Like we don't want to just cut them out like they just never were here. So it's important, I think, to acknowledge our loved ones and to share memories about them and keep their memory alive and just honor them in that way. And yeah, sometimes when you're doing that, you will feel uncomfortable, you will feel sad, and that's okay. It's okay to let that out. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just giving yourself permission to feel your feelings and to grieve in whatever way you need to, even if it is during the holidays. I get into some of these things in the video I was talking about, but the other thing is also allowing yourself to still enjoy the present moment with your loved ones that you have here, because the last thing you want to do is miss out on opportunities to create memories with your family that you can be present with now, right? Sometimes we get so lost in the grief that we aren't even present and enjoying the moments and opportunities we have with our loved ones that are here now, because there will be a time when more and more of our loved ones aren't physically here. And so it is important to make sure you do let yourself, process your feelings and let them out so that you can be present and experience time with your loved ones that are here now, and staying in that present moment and allowing yourself to still enjoy yourself, because you are still allowed to laugh and to find joy even if you're sad. Even if you still have this pain or you miss your loved one, doesn't mean that you don't miss them when you take the time to focus on joyful times, right? Just because you're laughing and having a good time with loved ones here in the physical space does not mean you're turning your back or, not missing your loved one. It doesn't mean you miss them any less or that the pain isn't still there from their loss. It's allowing you to still just enjoy life for what it is here and now. And the other thing I want you to remember is that even though your loved ones are not physically here with you, they are still with you in spirit. And it's so important to acknowledge that they are still connected to you. The love you share with your loved ones, like that never dies. Like the essence of the person never dies. That is still here. That love is still here, and it still connects you even when you are in different spaces. And like I explained on the signs episode, like you can always ask for a sign from them and let yourself get that validation and that sign from them. It really is comforting. I actually wanted to share a story with you about the signs because, as I said, the holidays are coming up and you tend to think of your loved ones. And so I've been thinking a lot more about my dad. I usually think about him every day anyway, but it's just, I've been feeling extra sad lately because I'm remembering, he loved Christmas and he loved to decorate, and we're starting to decorate our own house. And so I'm going through a lot of the decorations I inherited from him. So it's just all these memories, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of sadness. And, I've talked about my dad before. Like if you want to know more about, me and my dad and our story and like the amazing relationship we had and just how much our relationship was to me and just a little bit of his story, you can always listen to the episode Everything Happens for a Reason Part 1. I talk a lot about his journey through life and some of the things that he dealt with and just how intertwined our relationship was and just how we really helped save each other in a lot of ways through his life here. But a couple weeks ago, I was, feeling sad, missing him, and I had parked in the Starbucks I go to a lot, and I'm walking in the parking lot, and right there in my face, on the license plate in the car I'm walking right by, it says CPT are the letters on the license plate. CPT were my dad's initials, Corey Patrick Toll. It always makes me laugh because his initials were pretty significant because when I was growing up, all of us were CT. My dad was CT, Corey Toll. I was Chelsea Toll, so CT. My grandma who lived with us, who raised me, her name was Carol Toll, so she was CT. And so the way we differentiated us was with our middle initials, and my dad was CPT. And so we would always joke, that he's the captain of, the family. So it was always just kind of this funny joke. And so to see that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, Dad, is that a sign? Like, you're here? Like, is that really you? Like, oh my gosh, like, is it him? Is that a sign? I don't know. I'm self-doubt, your logical brain wants to like dismiss it, but I get my coffee and then I head to go pick up one of my kids, and I'm getting into the right lane, and there's a car in front of me who's also making the right turn that I'm going to make. New car, license plate, CPT right in front of me again. And I'm like, whoa, okay, Dad, okay, I get it. Like, that's you, thank you. And I just remember like, kind of tearing up, like, oh my gosh, thank you. My mind was blown. Here I was like questioning that first sign. So my dad's like, nope, I'm gonna show you it's me. And here it is again, right in front of you. Like, what are the chances? Completely different car, completely different area, right in front of me. So super cool. And so again, I want to invite you, ask for signs from your loved ones. And I really want to know, let me know what sign you get, what happens with your interaction with getting a sign from a loved one, because it's so cool. And it brings me to this other story I want to acknowledge is, I was talking to my daughter the other day. We were going to go shopping, and I was on my way to go pick her up. I just got done working, and the other two kids were still at school, so I told her I would take her shopping. And so I was on my way to go get her, and she had messaged me through like Facebook Kids Messenger, and she was like, Mom, I can't stop crying. Like, I'm so sad. And I'm like, okay, like, are you okay? Like, normally when she's messaging me that she's sad and upset, it's usually because she got in a fight with her sister. And I knew that wasn't the case because her sister's at school. So, I called her on the Facebook app, and I'm like, hey, I'm on my way home. Like, are you okay? Like, do we need to postpone our shopping trip? Like, what's going on? And she just like couldn't stop crying. And so I said, okay, well, I'm almost home. If you're still good to go shopping, we can talk about it when I get there. So she gets in the car and she's still just kind of sobbing. And, I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, it's just, there's this song I was listening to and it reminded me of Papa, and I just can't stop crying. I'm so sad. Like, I miss Papa so much, and Papa is my dad. And in that moment, I kind of got this realization where I never really have talked to her much, about her feelings of losing her grandpa, my dad. Like, I've been so consumed with my own feelings and my own grief. Like, I really have not stopped and really gotten to talk to my kids about their grief. And that was a a really big wake-up call for me to really know, like, I really need to talk to him about this. I just, it's kind of the same thing what I was talking about earlier in this episode, where you don't want to upset other people, so sometimes you stay quiet and don't share your feelings. And I'm like, wow, I really need to be more open and talk more about this with my kids and really get to know like what their feelings are, like what they're dealing with, like what's their grief like, because they're grieving also. And they've got stuff that they're probably holding on to. I really need to address this. So I ask her questions, like, do you think about Papa a lot? And she says, yeah. And I'm just really sad. And so I just was asking her about her feelings, and she was like, I just miss him so much. And I just feel like I never got to say goodbye. And I just, I remember the joy on his face when we would come and see him. He was always just alone, and he just loved us so much. And he was so happy when we would come to see him. And, I was holding back tears, and she's just sobbing. And, because that last year he was living completely alone, and, he loved his grandkids so much. And, we would talk to him every day. And I think because his passing was unexpected and we were visiting him at the time when he had passed, and I don't know if Leighton was trying to express to me if she felt some sense of guilt because she likes to hang out with her cousins and some of the neighborhood kids when she's visiting my dad. And so I don't know if she felt guilty that she didn't spend enough time with him, during that visit. Anyway, we just, kind of cried, and I hugged her and I told her, I let her know that, even though he's not physically here, he's still watching over us. He's still a part of our lives. And now he gets to be even more involved in our lives. He gets to see us more often. And, that he's still here, just in a different way. And I told her how I write letters to my dad in this journal that my cousin had given me after my dad passed. And that's one way, like if she would like to talk with him, she can write in a journal and write letters to him if she wants. And then I told her about the signs that I just got. I said, I've been feeling really sad and missing Papa lately too. And he showed me that he was here. Like, can you believe this? Like, I had 2 license plates, like right in 10 minutes of each other. One was at this, when I was stopped here, and the other one was right in front of me, and it was his initials, CPT. Like, how crazy is that? Like, you can totally ask him for a sign too, and he will give it to you. I know he will, because he will want you to know that he's still with you. And so we kind of pulled ourselves together. I told her that story. We went into the store, we did our shopping, and we're driving, and we come to this red light, and I look up, and I shit you not, right in front of us, license plate CPT. And I hit Leighton, and I took a picture of it, and I'm like, Leighton, oh my gosh, look right there. And she was like, and she starts crying, and she's like, thank you, Papa, thank you. And she was like, I asked him for a sign. And so it just what are the chances? How magical is that? It's so amazing, and it's so comforting, and really gives you that validation, holy shit, they are still here. That love that connects you and your loved ones, it never dies. They are there. You just have to ask for that sign, and to be open, and just pay attention, right? And I just can't believe that we got that. It just was so amazing, and I couldn't wait to share that story with you, because I explained in the other episode, it can come in different ways we're not expecting, right? Because I think our logical brains, we're always full of self-doubt, and we're trying to rationalize things. And so not only to see that sign once, but then twice within 10 minutes, and then the third time with my daughter after having that moment with her, talking about him and asking for that together, it just was crazy. So I invite you to go out there and ask for a sign from your loved one, and see what comes up for you. And I want to hear about it. Please let me know. Send me a DM on social media, on Instagram or Facebook. You can find me there. My handle is at Chelsea.VanBuskirk. So please find me and send me a message and let me know if you've received a sign and what you asked for and how it came through for you. Because I love hearing those stories. It's amazing. So yeah, I want you to give yourself some grace this holiday season. Know that it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to allow yourself to feel those feelings. You don't have to hide that, and you can journal and take a time out if you need to. And then don't miss out on experiencing some joy and laughter during this season also. And really take time to just be in that space where you're remembering your loved one and sharing stories and maybe crying and laughing about funny things. but then also just taking in the current present moment with your loved ones that are still physically here. Share the sign with them. Like, go out there and get a sign that you can share, or a hat. Tell your family members that they can ask for their own signs, like, and I think that's the other thing that I came to realize is that even though we might be stuck or still processing our own grief, is that there's other people in our circle that are grieving too. And that was something that really I became awakened to, having that conversation with my daughter, is being like, wow, I have 3 kids and a husband and other family members that also experienced this loss. Like, my dad was a very significant person and more than just my life. And I think it was an important lesson for me to learn that, there's more people that are grieving him than just me. Like, even though in my world he was like one of the biggest pieces of it, he was also a piece in other people's lives and their worlds too. And that was a loss for them as well. So I think it's important to acknowledge that too. And then letting yourself know that you can kind of share that with them. Like, I think it was super awesome to be able to have that conversation with my daughter and share our grief together. Like, her being able to open up to me and share the emotions and letting her like sob and just hugging her was, I think, helpful for her, but it was also helpful and healing for me too. So I think that is a great message that we can take away from this episode, is that if you are experiencing grief to some degree this holiday season, to maybe share with your loved ones that might also have some feelings too, and to really just use that as a moment to bond and remember and allow yourself to get those emotions out and feel your feelings and let yourself kind of heal and process. Because, at the end of the day, that's what we need to do to kind of quote unquote move on. And it's not really moving on or like pretending like these people did not have such a significant role in our lives, but it's knowing that life does go on and that we do have to be an active participant in life and enjoying the present moment with the people we have currently physically here. And that, again, the ones that are no longer physically here, they are still here in a different format, right? In a different way, but they are still here and still a part of our lives. And just because we're, still living doesn't mean we're leaving them behind. And it doesn't mean that we love them or miss them any less. It's just giving us that, permission that, hey, they are still here and they would want for us to keep enjoying life. And it's okay to miss them and it's okay to feel sad, but it's also okay to laugh and find joy and to just enjoy yourself with other friends and family and loved ones, here in this present moment. So I hope you take something away from that. Again, please let me know. I want to know about your signs. Like, please send me that DM and let me know if you requested for a sign, how you asked for it, and what you got in return. I want to know. And don't forget to check out my video on YouTube. This video will give you all of my best tips to help get yourself through the holidays or while you're grieving. I've got a lot of great stuff coming up for you in upcoming episodes to help us navigate the holidays and some of the things that we might be dealing with, to just help keep us in that high vibe state, to keep us in a state of joy and just having a good time this holiday season amongst all the crazy hustle and bustle and sometimes stress and emotions and things that come up. So yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.